this holy circle of light, the joining of the bearers of the light. We come together to celebrate and the launch of this new covenant. And it's been a very beautiful collaboration here at the center to proof the chapters and to really hear Jesus's voice on everything here. And so much love in this message and the simplicity that's being offered by Jesus as an extension of the Course in Miracles to retranslate the beliefs in a course into the desire for experience, for objective experience and the denial of divinity. And it's so direct, looking at the denials of divinity. Each belief in the Course has been retranslated. Here's what you desire to experience, to deny yourself as infinite being. And that we can look so directly in these light circles in the infinite light of being that we are. To look at the denials with Jesus. It's just a reminder of what the Course brought in the beginning. For 50 years, this has been the message. And now Jesus is just re-emphasizing there's no waiting for infinite being to be recognized as what it is, infinite light in these light circles. And that we can speak directly with Jesus. Every being can hear Jesus. If there's a being not hearing Jesus, then there's something wrong, going wrong. There's a denial of divinity. It's a birthright to hear the voice for God. This just happens to be the way it shows up here as voice of Jesus. Yet it's a birthright. And it just felt really fitting and honoring to open up and invite. We thank Samuel for coming to join us spontaneously without really knowing much, but following the Spirit. And that's really becomes the experience and following Spirit. You just don't know why. Jesus doesn't have a why. Infinite light doesn't have a why for anything, behind anything. It just is. And anything other than infinite divine light, all the love offered by God, all the happiness offered by God, and anything other than that is not true. So much happiness by going through each of these denials with Jesus. Is this true? Is this true? Is this belief still there? Is this desire to experience something other than infinite light right now? To celebrate all that is. And as I've said, even when I started just typing, because that's all it's been, it was just typing. Started just typing. And then started looking with Jesus at each thing in this book without knowing what the next chapter was going to be or the next line, or that there would even be a book. There was like no idea that this would be a book. It was just chapters and they would just come out. And then spending time with him, going through every single desire, retranslated. And then in light circles daily. I don't know how long there'll be light circles. It's like been so effortless, so much love in it. Just a celebration to follow the Holy Spirit and truly a fulfillment of Jesus's promise that everything he promises is true. And this is really what a new covenant is coming by direct experience. No more metaphysics, no more discussion, direct experience, and go direct to the voice of God within and ask, show me where these denials are. That's the experience here. And that's every day, 2 times a day, we gather to look as infinite light beings because we can, because we're infinite beings. There's no reason not to, actually. It's the celebration of life to reflect on infinite light that's here. All the happiness is in infinite light. And starting with infinite light to see that light denies nothing. We can see it now. Does the infinite light of being deny anything? Does it deny us anything? Just is. Doesn't know what a denial is. We don't know what a denial is unless an idea arises that's believed to deny infinite light. So we thank Jesus for, I'm grateful. I'm just so much gratitude in this, and to share this with the mighties here. And as extension, as a backdrop for us to see divine light, and as a reminder that the light is here and that there isn't anything other than light. And if we aren't perfectly, joyously, beyond the beyond happy, then there's a denial of light. There's a desire for an experience of other or else or something, an objective experience. So it's joyful, the instructions, and to follow Jesus is everything. And the instruction is to share this, extend this out. It's not for anyone. It's infinite light celebrating itself by saying yes to divine light within, and somehow in that, some kind of seemingly book appears in form. Yet it's not about the form, it's beyond the form. It's expression of divinity to extend this book to wherever he commands, the command of the one who knows. And in that, however that appears for any being, the extension of divine light, the expression of divine light again, however it appears, is full, whole, and complete as it is. So rather than deny divinity by saying no to God, you say yes to God, and what's my next assignment? Happily. And that's the assignment. That's the expression of infinite love and service to the whole. That's the extend the teachings of A Course in Miracles and Jesus, a New Covenant. And that's what the beings who come here for is really as extension, to see beyond the idea of a personal identity. And that, as Jesus says, there is no death, and have that as direct experience. There's nothing more valuable than that in this world, is to see that there's no death. There's only infinite light, infinite happiness, unless a decision is made to deny it. So these 20 chapters with terms are for contemplation, deep introspection, developing that relationship of listen to the light within, along with the light circles, because this is contemplative, and it's also joining, which Jesus points to. When any two or more are gathered in his name, this can take many forms. It's just the light circles are given as a powerful means to look directly together at the denials in Jesus, a New Covenant. The ones he's pointing to, look at these. He says, every single belief that holds an egoic structure, the ego together, is listed in A Course in Miracles. And many of those are in a New Covenant and retranslated to show directly, here's what your belief is, here's the desire that you have to experience. And as long as you have that belief and that desire, you will experience the effects. It will seem that cause and effect are separate. And to look closely and to ask him for where the denials are, and he will deliver it. And that's the only thing of value of this world, to see where the denials of divine light are. There isn't another value for this world. To celebrate divine light, infinite love as it is, perfect, whole, and complete. We also have, they're also posted out. There's no charge for this. This is just given. It's completely given for love, purposes of love, to extend out. And the first 10 chapters are available. We're going to have all of the chapters will be available on audiobook. Not sure exactly when that would be. With sometime through the grace of the brothers who've come to give in devotion to the extension of these, of the words of the Lord, of infinite love, to extend and share. So we thank Jesus for guiding us in this. Jesus guides every action of this center. Everything is given to that recognition and that celebration and undoing any ideas that there's a person apart from the whole. So we invite you to join us for light circles twice a day, or whenever you can. They're being shared on YouTube freely as well. So you can go through at your own pace and pause the light circles as they're read, or we'll have it in. You can also, the audiobook, you'll be able to pause and just ask Jesus directly, does this desire, is this below the level of awareness? And it was a surprise to me. Even though I've been studying the course, like, and been in spiritual community, I thought I'd forgiven my brains. Sometimes just feel I'm just going to keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving and following Jesus and following, and then to start going through some of these things that I must have read, I don't know how many times in A Course in Miracles, and to see when looking with Jesus how many of those things were below the level of awareness still. When I read that line, you believe your brother is there to rip heaven from you, and you really see what that desired experience and what that does in consciousness in terms of the expression of consciousness and denying divine light. That belief's given over quickly until Jesus says in the experience, to just ask him, is Jesus, is this yes? When he says yes, you're done. That's what we laugh about here. We go until Jesus says, yes, that's cleared from consciousness. That's cleared from the subconscious mind. This is a great gift. In the divine light of being in honesty of God. Honesty of God. It's a new term. Honesty of God is see that you're light. Admit that you're denying the light. Give those to me. I will show you, he says, I will show you every denial if you ask directly. No having to figure it out, never having to go sideways, no taking a trip to Jamaica. He'll deliver it and then cease to deny that you are light. This is honesty in God. In honesty of God, in the light of the divine being, is there anything other than infinite, unchanging light in our direct experience as light beings? And can the light be changed, infinite, unchanging light, be changed by anything of this world? Does infinite, unchanging light withhold anything? Is it limited in any way, shape, or form? Infinite, unchanging light in our direct experience as light beings. And as infinite light beings in honesty of God, if we were to ask the light within to reveal all the denials. This is revelatory readiness. This is what Jesus is calling these light circles, revelatory readiness, the revelation that everything he says, every word, every sentence, every period is true in A Course in Miracles without exception, by direct experience, through revelation, through contemplation on each line with Jesus, so that it can be revealed and just boom in the heart. And denials can be seen so easily through when you start as light and you go directly to desire. It cuts the sideways guilt out. Desire's first, then bifurcation and guilt appears, and then protection and all the stack on. He's saying, start with the light of infinite being. Why not? It's what you are. Start with the light and see that the light withholds nothing. And see that the light isn't fearful whatsoever. Is the light of divine being infinite light that's here, is it fearful? Does it say, you have to fear me now in order to see what I am, who you are? Does the light of infinite being that's here say, you're going to have to wait a really long time and forgive a lot before you can see your true identity as light? Infinite light doesn't say that. We know that. The infinite light is here, infinite love. Amen. Before you can see your true identity as light, infinite